Braden, I guess, what's it kind of like working under Chansey this spring?
Yeah, definitely different. He's taking a strong emphasis on kind of building up from the basics, more technical stuff. So I think just kind of getting in the rhythm of kind of like what a practice format would be like under him and how the film room will be with him has definitely been an adjustment, but it's been something I think we've all welcomed and have been already seeing a positive change from. And it's been really nice. He's a hard coach, but very personable, and he's someone you want to work with. So it's been great.
You mentioned the film room. I guess what is kind of different between what he does in there versus what you guys have done in your first couple of years here?
Yeah, I'd say it's a bit more deliberate in overall concepts. I think in times in the past it was more positional awareness at each individual, but now I think all the receivers can kind of play all around. They aren't tied down to an X or in the past W, Z, F, whatever it may be. I think it's more everyone kind of play everywhere, and wherever you're at in that point in the game, we're now able to kind of plug you into that spot depending on what we want.
And then how would you assess where the offense is currently at? How
yeah, I'd say we're definitely making huge strides. We return a lot of dudes. There's a lot of experience up front and outside. And it's been fun. Everyone's kind of played around, and I think it's been fast, and especially with having 4 capable running backs, it's definitely been nice. I think our run game is especially seen huge improvements, a lot of fresh dudes. They all are very different, so it's been really fun so far.
And then overall, it just looks like you guys are having fun out there. Is that something that you guys have noticed?
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun to play ball, but I'd say spring ball is a little different where it's a lot more competition based, so it's definitely been fun to kind of go at these new dudes and old faces and just play football.
So far with spring ball, you mentioned getting more competition based. What about sort of the body back from the defensive backs as well? How's it been different from last year, and then just as competitive with you guys with spring ball?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of similar faces. You're always going to get that edge from Houston and DJ. Some veterans at safety. Clarence is polished for sure. But I'd say definitely some new faces have definitely brought in a lot. I think Bjo's done a great job. A lot of energy making plays. Jaden Mickey has done a great job. He's done phenomenal from what I've seen so far, and he likes to talk a lot, so that's been fun. It's nothing wild. It's just been great competition. It's a different group overall on both sides. So I think kind of figuring out everyone's role and kind of that position within the locker room has been really fun so far.
From a receiving standpoint, with the sort of quarterback battle going on right now, how does that affect you guys' preparation?
Yeah, I don't really think too much. I know a lot of people think differently since they definitely play a bit different, but they're both phenomenal quarterbacks, and they have the trust of the locker room equally. And I think at the end of the day, we trust them both equally to give us the ball. And I think we aren't really in a position to be worrying about the quarterbacks because we're young and the receiver position as a whole. And, we're working on our techniques. I think we're more focused on ourselves right now, especially with the new coach. And I think going forward, we'll see that trust on both quarterbacks increase over time.
And what do you think you guys can do as a receiver to kind of ease the transition for whichever guy ends up with the job?
I think big improvement we need to make, just even from last year, but just overall what helps quarterbacks who are younger is just making the contested catches, some of those jump balls. I think when quarterback doesn't always throw the prettiest ball, but we come down to that at a consistent rate, I think that kind of calms them down a bit. So I think we can add some of that more often. I think we'll see some huge payoff.
Braden, obviously you had a huge role in last year's team. Knowing now that you are going to have an even bigger role with this year's team and kind of looked at to be one of these the guys for the wide receiver group. How do you feel? I mean, is there any extra pressure on you as you head into this season?
Oh, no. Not really. It's just football. I think, when you come with age, I think, for me at least, it's kind of been a bit easier. I feel a lot more comfortable. And I'm just having fun. And I think a lot of spring, especially just with the new coach, a lot of it has been new drills, new technique. So it hasn't been a situation where I can kind of just worry about anything else. I'm really just kind of focused on everything I'm being told, period by period, and I'm just trusting the coaches that it'll pay off.
Speaking of age, you are one of the older guys in the wide receiver group. How does it feel to be kind of like a mentor to some of the younger guys, and what are some of the messages that you've been passing on to them on how to succeed here at this university?
To be honest, I don't really give too much football mentorship. I think it'd be a bit, not wrong, just a bit premature just because, you look at Lorenzo. He started alongside me big chunk of the year. Dion and JT both have made plays. They both, all three of them have been at the 1s and 2s, and now this is year 2 around. So I definitely have a bit of a leader role, but it isn't like I'm talking down or like mentoring in that sense. But I'd say more off the field. I definitely look at it as more like a big bro, little bro situation. And I definitely, it's been probably my favorite part of my career just because when I was younger, I felt Chris kind of took some of us under his wing, and I really looked up to him. So I kind of hope, when my career's over, that some of these guys might look at me in that same light.
I don't think there are any Zoom questions, so you are good to go.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.